Hey folks, this is Pete from Pete's Tackle. Hey, I'm excited today. Today is Tips and Tricks Thursday, and I'm going to be answering the questions from our last two posts on crappie. Tom Bauer, your question was, Pete, where can I catch crappie in western Montana, and do you sell bait to catch them? Well, I know the Flathead Valley has probably 50 waters that have crappie in them. Blanchard Lake, McWhiniger, Slough, the Flathead River system, Flathead Lake, Echo Lake, Upper Thompson. I've been all over fishing these crappie, but you'll mainly find me on the Flathead River system, since that's the closest to when I get off work. Tom, your second part of that question is, do I sell baits? Yes, I do. I have the Chansey's Crappie Candy. That comes in 1.5 inches, 2 1/4, and 3 inch. The other things I have the Mystic Tier and the Big Eye Spinners. These are jigs designed for the Chansey's Crappie Candies. I also have Pete's Cactus Candy, which is a very deadly little jig. It's a little cactus chenille jig. Now we come to Mr. Dennis Gerke, one of our fishing guys at Snappy's, and his question is, how deep in the water column do you fish beet jeller? Alright, that takes me into a whole nother realm here. So, Dennis, to answer your question, what I look for when I go to a lake for crappie like structure, from weeds to docks, deep water ledges. Take Flathead Lake for instance. I'll go out on the delta on Flathead Lake on a calm day, and I'll go look for the weed patches out there, and I'll fish just above the top of the weeds. And crappie always feed up. I go out there, I like to swim my bait, my jig out there. It's one of the ways I fish it. I may slip bobber it, and that is where you set the depth at a certain depth on your line with a slip bobber and cast out and twitch it. What mainly out to that, to answer your question, I don't look for how deep, because crappie transition certain times of the year. They'll go hang out over the deep in the wintertime without no structure, and they'll just suspend. And then in the summertime, in the heat, they'll go out and suspend in there, and then come in towards the evenings and work the weed edges. This is an added bonus for you. I wanted to talk about a little bit about the rods that I use. They don't make this rod no more. It is an number 8 rod, Hellbent. It's the panfish and trout rod, and it is a 7-foot light fast action. That is my preferred rod. It's a 7-foot light fast action. You get the best action, best cast with it. Very sensitive. This rod they don't make anymore, but 13 Fishing, the company that owns 8 Fishing, is making them in the Defy rod. Folks, this is the 13 Fishing Defy. You can get these at Snappy Sports Center. This is the 6'7", and it is a medium fast 6 to 12 pound. I prefer a lighter rod with the same tip, but it works for what I do with it. With that, we're going to conclude with our Tips and Tricks Thursday. Thank you all. Bye-bye.